Hi, I'm Paul Davis from Barefoot Athlete, and in this video we're going to talk about the Inov8 Barex 200 barefoot running shoes. Now, one of the key things about the Barex 200 is this is a zero drop shoe, so it has 0 mm of elevation between the heel and the front of the shoe. That's pretty important because up to now Inov8 have tended to stand for a range of shoes that gradually take you through lower and lower heel elevation, and this is the first we've seen that's a full-on flat shoe. So in this sense this is the first true barefoot purist shoe from Inov8. The sole is 3 mm thick and is made from a hard rubber called TPU. That's very good from a proprioception point of view, but also has a tendency to wear more than some other rubbers. So this is not going to be the most long-lasting shoe in the world. And in terms of flexibility, then the shoe rolls up very nicely, which is often a good test of a barefoot shoe. Now, I think one of the key things about this shoe is the fact that some people, when they look at purist barefoot shoes like this Aqualite here, are a bit concerned really about the fact that it simply doesn't look like a running shoe and therefore sort of shouts out, "I'm a barefoot runner." The nice thing about this shoe is if you compare this, for example, to a traditional old school Asics heel striking shoe, is this looks very much like what everybody would expect a running shoe to look like. So if you're out with a pair of these running, you're not going to be advertising to everybody that you're a barefoot runner. In fact, if they didn't know a bit more about the shoe, they'd have no idea. So it suits someone who doesn't want to shout out the fact that they're a barefoot runner. Now, a couple of interesting design features of this shoe is that the shoe consists of these transparent plastic moulded sections that are moulded into the sole and also into the upper, which means that the shoe generally is a nice, secure, supportive feel. The other interesting thing is that on the back you have this tiny little nylon heel pull-on, so again an item here to keep the weight down. The shoe itself comes in at 200 grams, but within the shoe there's an insole, and that insole weighs 20 grams. And I think anybody who's really interested in proprioception is going to be interested in taking that out, because I run in these shoes with the insole removed, and I'd say they're still thoroughly comfortable and definitely higher levels of proprioception. The one thing I would say though is once you've removed it, you probably want to be wearing socks. I suspect this isn't a shoe that lends itself to being worn with no socks, particularly with the insole removed. Now, there aren't that many shoes that satisfy all of our criteria for what might call the perfect purist barefoot shoe, but this one does, in the sense that it's a zero drop shoe. It's got a high level of proprioception in the sole and also a relatively wide toe box. Not as wide as, for example, a Vivo Barefoot Aqualite, but certainly comparable with other popular shoes like the Merrell Trail Glove. So all in all, I'd say that the Barex 200 from Inov8 is an excellent barefoot running shoe, ticks all the boxes that we require from a serious shoe, and we'd thoroughly recommend it for someone who's looking for a full-on barefoot running shoe with zero heel elevation.